I'm exhausted of scrolling on my phone for hours. I'm exhausted of seeing all your happy relationships online, and I'm tired of seeing your highlight reels. Because I know the truth, and I know none of it is real. It's just glamorized. Social media is something that's really gotten to me recently, and that's why I took a break. I don't care, you can call me selfish, putting myself first for once, but the expectation of someone having to reply back as soon as possible is just unrealistic. And quite frankly, I don't need your opinions on my life, because it's mine for a reason. So yeah, I want to put down my phone and live my life, yet I can't. And I feel as though a lot of people around my age feel the same. The month of no phone, November, made me realize a lot. I can honestly do anything I want on this earth, especially when I don't have to document every second of it. Sure, I love showing my life online and showing my own highlights in my life, but I think we all forget to put down our phones and be present in the now. I realized how poorly I've been treated in the past by certain individuals, and I realized everything I deserve in my own friendships and future relationships. You learn a lot about yourself when you don't have the constant stress of falling behind because of what others are doing. And you feel extremely more connected with the ones that you love. Emotional dependence, that's something I've experienced. FOMO, fear of missing out, also something I've experienced. Overthinking, deliberating anxiety, I've experienced it all. When you rely on someone to dictate your feelings or actions, that's a dangerous game you're playing. When we have the fear of missing out because we couldn't go to a certain event, but we know we'll see it online, that's also a dangerous game. But all these things I've experienced being off my phone was due to my own thoughts and mental state. You have control. You do. If you want to change, you will. And if you don't, you simply will stay the same. In the month of November, I said no to events and people I didn't want to see to prioritize myself. Because usually it's hard for me to say no, as I just discovered this year I'm something called a people pleaser. In saying this, I'm a people pleaser who's very stubborn and likes things done my way because I know they'll benefit me in the long run. And no, that's not selfish, it's called self-love, having boundaries, and self-respect. In November, I got to explore. I went to a new beach, I went to my favorite one, I went for a hike, I spent time with friends and family. But slowly I started to realize something. My month off social medias made me revisit the past. I went to places where I was hurt by people or had created memories with someone and decided to simply change the narrative. Sure, it was hard being in those exact spots again because it was almost like I was reliving it. But now they are my moments. I reflected and made those spots my own because those moments do not have power over me anymore. Another thing being off my phone offered me was a path. I feel like when you're in your 20s, consumed by expectations of what you should and shouldn't do, it's exhausting knowing what path to take. Especially when you see other people a couple steps or even chapters ahead of you. But by being stubborn and completely committing to myself to getting off of social media, it made it a lot easier to choose my path. For this social media cleanse, I deleted Snapchat and Instagram as they were the most triggering for myself. I kept TikTok as it didn't feel toxic to me at the time, but even then, it was limited to an hour on my phone, which I got down to 45 minutes by the end of the month. I genuinely liked having people message me on my number rather than useless face photos with hardly any communication. I liked not seeing other people's shit on Instagram. It was honestly refreshing. I think everyone should delete social medias for a month or longer because I honestly think it changed me. What have my past relationships taught me about myself, good and bad? I'm already gonna cry at this game. It motivated me more in my workplace too, as I was focused on hitting goals. I hit my first KPI target in one of my jobs and ended up getting a bonus for my hard work. I did plenty of self-care rituals and finished 2 books. I had more time for myself. I saw the artist that saved my life when I was 13 years old. I made Spotify playlists, which was much needed, and simply just got to know myself better. I'm not saying it's easy, because it's not. A lot of things in life are not easy. But why not take the chance and do a month cleanse like I did? I promise you one thing, you will learn a lot about yourself. But that comes with breaking down, feeling lonely, constantly wondering what others are doing. When are they going to text me back? Will they call me? Am I even important to them? You will question yourself. You will overthink and break. But you have to understand, you need to break down in order to grow. And that's exactly what your 20s feel like. Or even being a teenager. The constant what ifs. What am I even doing with my life? You're not lost, you're here. And you're here for a reason. Everyone is. The right people will stay and understand. And if someone truly wanted to, they would. Trust me. Don't settle for the bare minimum, because there's someone out there that would cross galaxies just to be with you. So, I have one question for you. Which path are you going to take?
Those that used to float around my room.